Hi, Jazz.
Hello, Susan.
Today, what I'd like you to do is tell us about who is Jazz. Okay, briefly, not all the details, of course, but basically, where you're from, where you live, what brought you to Fast Track, how did you develop Fast Track, when did you develop Fast Track, and where do you teach and do sessions now? So people get a kind of general overview of who you are since you're coming to the US in April.
Okay, well, I'll try and remember the questions.
Yes.
If I forget any, butt in there.
Yeah.
There are about 4 books within me. I've had a very interesting life, and I believe they've all led me to this point. The first thing I'd say is that I was born a very highly sensitive person. I'm saying that because I believe all my clients are highly sensitive people, and we struggle in the world, and we build up defenses of personalities. I did all of that totally without knowing any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. I was always interested in alternative stuff like chiropractors and, the weird stuff, out of the box stuff, but I didn't practice anything. However, I started traveling when I was 21. I am English, but England doesn't really hold much of an attraction for me anymore. Mm-hmm. So I left and I started traveling around, and I got married a couple of times. And the last time was really the one that rocked my world. And it was a very emotional relationship. It knocked me apart. I didn't understand what was going on. And my way to survive this was to shut down. It was all I knew. And during that shutdown period, physically, I became extremely ill. I had brain scans, etc., etc. Could go on for ages, but I won't. And then I met a spiritual person who was my first teacher, and his name's Anup, and I love him to bits because of what he told me. And he said, Jazz, your physical condition is a manifestation of your emotional state. And I went, going? What? And I had no idea. It news, but all of a sudden I could understand, and I could start to unravel that ball of string. And through that, I started to learn different healing modalities. I opened my own center in Bangkok in 2002, and I invited healers from all around the world, and I learned everything that was on offer. And if I didn't learn it, I experienced a session. I don't know what I was doing, but that's what I did. And what I recognized within that was the things that appealed to me was simple, powerful, quick, and permanent. And the nature of jazz is I love to share. So when I came across EFT, I knew that was for me. I'd learned all sorts of other stuff, but they're too complicated, too difficult. I don't understand this, or I don't really rate that. And then when I got EFT, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And I went through all the sections, and I became a trainer, and I was very, very good at it. And I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing, until I discovered muscle testing. And with my knowledge of EFT and how the subconscious works and muscle testing, I'm like, oh my God, I can just find out everything through these 2 modalities. And it was from that, which is about 4 years ago, that Fast Track was born. I had to find a way of showing people or giving people a way to access their own subconscious. So I developed a set of cards, 16 cards which represent different situations that could be going on that have created blockages in your subconscious programming. And using muscle testing on yourself or on another person, you can find out what these blockages are. And the great thing is you can release them. It's like electric. You don't need to know how it works. You just need to know where the switch is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get a switch and turn the light on, boop, it's like,
Okay.
and that basically is what Fast Track is all about. I've been developing this system, I think, for about 4 years. And when I say I don't mean I at all. I am helped by, I say God, but at a very high level of consciousness. And the stuff that comes through me is beyond anything that I could ever believe. And I believe because I am a natural sharer, and it's for me to share this with the world by taking it around the world and sharing it with anybody who's interested.
Great, great. And where, can you tell us a little bit about where all you've been teaching this?
Yes. When I was doing EFT, I was going to places like Hong Kong and Dubai. I was going to various 5-star resorts and spa resorts and stuff. But since I've been doing Fast Track, I go on a regular basis now to Hong Kong about 4 times a year. I am going to Shanghai next week for the first time. I've already taken it to China. I go to Malaysia about 3 or 4 times a year. I have quite a big following there. No, Fast Track has a big following there. And of course, I am bringing it to Florida in April.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have taught in the UK. And probably some other places.
Okay, and Bali, of course, yes, because I learned Fast Track in Bali with you.
Of course you did, yeah.
Summer, yeah. Okay, great. And clients, you do sessions, I believe, on Skype primarily, huh? Also maybe face to face.
Yes, I do. A lot of my work is done on Skype. And very efficient, helps people. And I do one-on-one sessions if people happen to be wherever I am. That's fantastic. But Skype is truly amazing. And at the end of the session, if you're the client, you don't have to get in your car and drive home. You can just totally chill out and integrate what you experience. And
when you're here, though, in Florida, of course, you'll be available to do face-to-face sessions. So that's great. I mean, I personally prefer the face-to-face myself to Skype. I mean, I love Skype and it's worked well, and you and I do a lot of Skype. However, I'm looking forward to you actually being here and face-to-face. So, yep.
And another thing just to mention is that what I've been able to do is to create online courses. So I choose certain topics that I think are of interest, and generally it's what I need for me right now. And I will create a course around it, 3, 4, 10 sessions. And those courses are available online so that you can do them in the comfort of your own home whenever you choose. And they are way powerful.
Okay, great. And how can they find them? How can people find them?
You go on my website, www.fasttracktechnique.com. Drop me a line, just tell me where you're at, and I can recommend what I think you would be interesting for you. I'm very, very excited at the moment working with relationships because I want one. I do so much work around money. I've got loads of money courses, and my latest one is my favorite, and it's about discovering money types. And why this is so exciting is because not only do you find out what your money type is, it also opens you up to the type of person you are and how you do life in the world. I didn't realize this would happen when I started it. Hope you're enjoying the plane overhead. But it's opened up my life incredibly. I'm so much more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope we can do that in Florida when you come.
So
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
I.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Jazz.
That is my pleasure, and I look forward to meeting as many of you as I possibly can. We're going to be doing a heap of stuff, and if you have any special requests, let us know, and I'm
Yes.
sure we can create something specific for you.
Yes. Great. Okay. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.